And 3, 2, 1. Here we are again on planet Earth talking about stuff that defies common sense and logic. Not hell and eternal damnation existing. Not today. This is about El Nino and La Nina. Weather events that for some reason everybody thinks are a thing. They aren't. They can't be. The climate cannot be predicted. It's ridiculous. It's bizarre. You cannot keep saying this. You cannot predict the climate on a planet with a molten core that's in an elliptical orbit around its star, the sun, and that is actually spinning on its axis at the same time. You don't get to tweak the climate. You can't predict it. Just because something happened last year when it was a certain temperature and the wind was blowing from a certain direction and the oceans were a certain temperature, just because those three things were happening at this time last year, it does not mean it's going to happen at the same time this year if all those conditions are the same. It's ridiculous. It's an illogical thought. But this is what's happening. This is what these people are telling everyone else. That there is a pattern, that it can be predicted. It's ridiculous. You cannot predict this stuff. It defies common sense and it defies logic. End of. Start thinking this through. It's ridiculous. We've got Lisa, a climate scientist, and here's Nate. We all know Nate. Here we go.
Realistically, what are we looking at here?
Yeah, so this is potentially a triple dip La Nina. We had one this year, or one last year and the year before, after the devastating droughts that led.
We had what this year, last year, the year before? Just because it rained? Just because it rained, it's a named thing? Oh, seriously?
To the Black Summer bushfires, and so the outlook is suggesting 70% chance of La Nina by the end of October.
The outlook, what outlook? Did this outlook just fall out of a tree that's giving us this 70% chance of La Nina at the end of October? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's like, oh, seriously? It's like having a puff on a cigarette, right? I'm blowing the smoke out into a room and blowing the smoke out again in the same direction and expecting a pattern. A pattern will not happen. Now put a fan on low speed in the corner of a room and do that exercise again. One puff of smoke, it's going to blow it out a little bit everywhere. You have another puff of smoke and you think that it's gonna be the same. This is what we're talking. It's ridiculous.
The ocean is in step with the atmosphere, and the computer models around the world that look.
The ocean is in step with the atmosphere. What does that mean? By the left, quick march. Left, right, left, right, left, right. What does that mean? The ocean is in step with the atmosphere. Computer models around the world.
Stuff. 4 out of 7 are saying, yep, we're going to go by October. So
4 out of 7 computer models from around the world, only 4 out of 7, say that there's going to be this La Nina, this ghost, this thing that you can't pinpoint at the end of October. And by the way, in the US, La Nina 2022 has already been called. It's already up and running. So what's that? A difference of opinion, difference of data, a difference of random variables? Or is it just the fact that the scientists out there just want to be seen in the studios going, yeah, the reason for this and the reason for that, because it's ridiculous.
Probably another wet spring and early summer.
The first year of La Nina, we didn't really see huge flooding across the country, largely because everything was so dry, the water had somewhere to go. This year has been incredibly wet. What are we likely to see in this summer ahead if the La Nina does form again?
This is a question that a weather guy on ABC has just asked. We have ourselves a soaked landscape. We've been pummeled by rain. It's like still water everywhere. What can we expect to happen if it pours down with rain again? I mean, seriously? Nate, you're going to blow your cover.
The catchments are full all on the east coast. I don't need to tell you that. There's flooding everywhere. There's so much footage. Tasmania as well is really wet. And I think, the La Nina pattern is going to make these.
What La Nina pattern? There is no La Nina pattern. It's a ghost. There is no pattern. Oh.
Weather conditions to bring rainfall more likely, which probably means more flooding. Obviously, we're as prepared as we can be, but I think we need to hold on for some more wet weather and soggy footage to come.
So this, we're talking climate here rather than weather, right? So
Nate, you really are going to blow your cover. We're talking climate here rather than weather. Are they not the same thing? It's like they think they're like talking to a room full of children. Where is this lack of common sense, a lack of the big picture coming from? It's bizarre. I really did get pushed off at the wrong stop.
it's not like where you can pinpoint exactly where we're going to see some big rainfall events.
A weatherman talking to a climate scientist saying it's not like we're ever going to be able to pinpoint where there's going to be major weather events. Is that not your job? We know that it can't be done, but it's just ridiculous.
No, La Nina kind of primes the atmosphere for rainfall to occur. So it means that we've got warmer than normal ocean temperatures off the northeast coast of Australia.
We've got warmer northeast coast water temperatures, right?
And actually, we've got them off the northwest coast as well.
And actually, just as an afterthought, we got them off the west coast as well. Now we get the wind behind our sails. It gets exciting now.
Well, with the Indian Ocean. So the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean are in step.
They're in step. The Indian and the Pacific Oceans are in step because of the northeasterly temperature of water and the northwesterly the temperature of the water. Now,
Which means even weather conditions and even a stronger likelihood. I would say even if the Bureau doesn't update their alert to a full official La Nina, it's probably going to be a wetter than average rest of the year.
There you go. You heard it from Lisa. If the Bureau doesn't actually claim La Nina 2022, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a wetter than average year. You know what? There is no way of knowing this.
The question, I think, on many people's lips, especially those anxious in the East,
Is how is this actually even happening?
how much of this has got to do with climate change? What role is climate change playing here?
You know what? I'm not even going to stop on that one.
That's the $1 million question, isn't it? And that's the question that Australian climate scientists just keep asking because
That's the question. That's the $1 million question. It's the $1 trillion question, Lisa. And it's not just Australian scientists, it's scientists all over the world. But this is where it's getting a bit foggy. How can there be this mass lack of common sense? It's impossible. It's impossible that every scientist involved in every current report is saying the same. The peer reviewed. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous.
La Nina events and El Nino events are so crucial for predicting what's going to happen in Australia. But actually, it's not a done deal. We don't know the answer yet. The computer models are saying one thing and the observations are saying the other. So
Computer models is what they write, and the observation is the actual real weather outside of our doors. So they're writing stuff, but the kind of weather is not tying in with what they are writing. So where is the problem? Oh God, is this really happening?
there might be something going on there where the models aren't capturing what's happening in reality.
There's something going on where what we're writing is not actually capturing what's happening in reality. Maybe it's capturing what's happening in some twilight zone in another dimension, though.
Maybe there is a stronger chance of more La Ninas in the future, but maybe there's a stronger chance of El Ninos.
Maybe there's some chance the Tooth Fairy's going to come for breakfast, and there is the Easter Bunny coming for dinner, Lisa.
We don't quite know yet. What we do know is that when the atmosphere warms, which it has by over a degree in the last 100 years, there's more water vapor in the atmosphere that's available to fall as rain.
More water vapor in the atmosphere that is available to fall as rain. hit that one right out of the ballpark.
Also know that our ocean temperatures are warmer, which also kickstarts that system and makes it a little bit more energetic. So when these weather events that are associated with the climate events do
A weather event meets a climate event. Dorothy, buckle up!
kind of occur, they're going to pack a bit more of a punch.
Any chance of a fourth La Nina?
Nate, you're gonna blow. Oh, you've just blown your cover. We haven't even settled on a third, and is there gonna be a fourth?
Yeah, somebody asked me that the other day.
What did you say, Lisa? What did you say?
It's pretty unusual.
To
Like,
be loved by anyone. No.
we get 2 back-to-back happens a bit, 3 in a row, not that common, 4 in a row. That'll be even bigger news, I would say. Hopefully
And I'm
not.
sure you'll be around to tell us all about it. All of this is so illogical. It's just defies common sense, defies logic. People saying that they can predict what's going to happen with the climate. You know what? There is no pattern. It's random. The universe is random. The solar system is random. Climate on a planet is always going to be random because the amount of variables, there's just no end. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And the sooner people wake up to this nonsense, the sooner they'll realize, oh, hang on, why is this going on? And it will lead you to another one and to another one. La Nina, El Nino are ghosts. It's ridiculous.